Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do an unhaul. And I think probably beginning next week, I will be taking them to the buy sell trade store where I usually sell my books. I have a stack sitting here. Oh, you can see that. So I have a stack sitting here, and then right here by the door, that is where I usually stack up books that I'm going to be unhauling. I was kind of looking around at my shelves, just thinking if there's anything else I could just pluck from my shelf that I'm just not quite interested in yet. But there isn't, not just yet. So I'm gonna sneeze. And I need some water. Oh, God. Okay, so we're gonna start with this stack. This stack of books right here are books that are probably too damaged that this bookstore will not buy, but I can take these to like little free libraries. How is it that I have two of these? Okay, so the first one is Atlas Shrugged. I had heard that this was an amazing science fiction. This book was just so big. And I think I was looking at all the other... Oh my god. Look how small the type is in it as well. Oh, sorry. My nails are absolutely disgusting, so ignore that. Yeah, the text is even incredibly small. So I checked out the movie. And I know, that's a sin. Don't come for me, okay? But there are some books that it is completely okay to watch the movie and then read the book. If you like the movie, the book will give you a lot more. The movies are actually like a mini series. There's like 3 parts to the movie. And I have to say, I was even bored with the movie. So I don't think that I'm going to be reading these books. And I don't know what happened, but I had 2 copies. I considered maybe just getting rid of one of them and keeping the other one because, I mean, it's a mass market. It's not like it takes up a whole lot of space. But let's be for real. I have so many other book series where every single book is about this thick and stories that I really, truly am very excited about. And this one, I just feel like it's going to be boring. The next one is Les Miserables, and this is not the full edition. So this is an abridged version. That's one reason. 2, I have another copy of it. I have yet to read this book. It is a very intimidating book. So we're going to get rid of this little mass market. Running with Scissors. This is a memoir. I read it so many years ago. I love this book. I don't talk about it enough, to be honest. And it's just because it has been so many years since I've read it. Like, I forget until I see it. And I'm like, oh, I remember that book. It's so quirky and weird and awesome. I'm getting rid of the mass market because I have a trade paperback. Uglies by Scott Westerfield. This is a book that I feel like I would still really like. I've been lugging it around for so long. This book always bugs me whenever I try to put it on the shelves. It does not fit right because it's a very odd shape, and that drives me crazy all the time. I did try to read it not too long ago, but I feel that it just wasn't the right time. And I actually honestly think that I want to give this another shot, but I will be perfectly happy with just listening to the audiobook. So I don't need to keep the physical copy. And we have Iqbal. This is a book that my son had to read for school. Then we have History of Witchcraft. This is just a little tiny book. The Witch of Portobello. I have not read this book. I've considered picking it up a few times, but I think I've just 100% lost interest in it, so that is going to go. Get down! What the hell are you doing? Death in the Family. I did try to read this not too long ago. That's right. I forgot if I had actually talked about this one in a... Sora! Knock it off! I do think I talked about this book and why it was just terrible for me, and it was a lot of the characters and the dialogue and the story. I did really like that it felt a lot like the game of Clue, but I just didn't like the way it was done. I felt that there were just so many instances that the characters were just being blatantly retarded. just was not good. Then we have this one. I did end up picking up this book because it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful hardbound book, but it is a copy of Madame Bovary, and I don't know that I'm even going to like this book. I did watch the movie. I've heard that this book's a little bit challenging to get through. I have a Penguin Classic Edition. And if it were between the two, I'm going to have to pick this one. This one is quite old and dusty. Even holding it this close to my face is like, yeah, it's a lot. And then I have a whole bunch of Penguin Black Classics that all match. So this is going to stay with that collection. Now let's go with a little bit more exciting books. So we've got X-Hex by Erin Sterling. I read this book at the end of last year. I did really enjoy this book. I thought it was really fun and lighthearted, but it's not a very well-written book. I do not see myself ever reading this book again. Maybe I will check out the sequel to it. Let's be real, I really don't see myself doing that either. It was really fun, good time, and I'm done with it. Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendra Blake. This one is the same as the X-Hex. I read it at the end of last year. I did really enjoy it. I really think this is a really cool book because the text is like this blood red. I enjoyed this book. I thought it was really fun, but I don't see myself rereading it, so I'm going to get rid of it. Night Music by Jojo Moyes. I've been holding on to this book forever. I feel like I had in my head that it was something completely different. And I actually think that this one got on my radar to begin with because of YouTube. But I just recently picked up the audiobook and started in on it. And I was so bored. I can't tell you a thing about it. I'm not going to read this book. And even if I had changed my mind, I'd probably just check out the audiobook. This book is very water damaged. They're probably not going to buy this book from me. So that's going to go in the other pile. Then we have Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I had started this. When did I start this? It's been a while. I started it. I did really like the way it was going. I liked the small town Savannah charm, but it got really boring. And then it was just like, kept sitting there staring at me, read me, read me, read me. And I was like, you're stressing me out. I don't really feel like picking you up. That's a sign when you need to DNF it and move on with your life. And now it's also time to get rid of this book. Violin by Anne Rice. It is time to unhaul this book. I have not read it. I don't even know what it's about. I think it's actually part of like more of one of her seductive books. Other than, I just don't think that it's going to be the book for me. It holds no interest for me. I think I was on this big Anne Rice thing. I was going to read all of Anne Rice books. So far, I have read 2 of them, DNF'd another one, and I'm not really enjoying her writing. I absolutely love Interview with the Vampire. It's probably in the top all-time favorite books, but that's it. Just because an author has one amazing book does not mean that you're always going to vibe with everything that they write. So I do still want to read Vampire Chronicles. I'm very, very slowly making my way through that. The next one I have to read is Queen of the Damned. Other than that, I don't have any huge pull to read more from her. So there's that. All right, this is a book that I just recently got. Is in 100% perfect condition. It's not even dusty yet. That's how brand new this book is. The publisher sent this book to me. I won it in a giveaway. I attempted to read it. I got bored pretty quickly. It's not a bad book at all. I just don't think that it's for me. It's like a family drama. And I don't know. I mean, this is just a lot of pages for a book that I'm just probably at best, it's going to be a 3-star. I'm not interested in finishing that book. I have one other book by this author. It is called Big Little Lies. It's a book that I recently just found and picked up. So I'll be featuring that one in a haul video. So I'm going to give that one a try, and hopefully I do like it. Hopefully it becomes a favorite of mine. Special Topics in Calamity. This book is definitely getting unhauled. I talked about this book recently where I hate this book. It is so ridiculous. I hate it. I have these 2 books by this author, Tales of the City and The Days of Anna Madrigal. I have not read these books. I no longer feel the interest in reading the books because they're just not really my style of book. And there is a Netflix show, which I started to watch. I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm very slow watching TV series. But I haven't finished reading fucking hell, I cannot talk. I've not finished watching the Netflix series, but it's a really good story. But like I said, I'm just probably not going to sit down and actually read the books. Then we have Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt. This is a memoir about his really tough upbringing with poverty. And I think he lives in the United States, but his parents were immigrants. Wait, or did he live? Depression era Brooklyn. This was pretty good. I remember thinking I needed to read this book because people just said what an amazing story it is. And yes, stories of people's lives are amazing, but I did not connect with it that much. So I'm glad that I read it. I did think it was something completely different though. I don't know why. I'm definitely not going to reread it. That's all. This one's kind of hard to get rid of because I kind of just want to keep it on my shelf. But at the same time, I have limited space on my shelf, and I didn't really like this book. And that is Paranesi by Susanna Clark. This book was so weird. I'm glad I read it. I'm not going to read it again. That's that. It needs to go. Into the Water. I have been holding on to this book for so long because I heard that it was so phenomenal. It was so good. I've been holding on to this book for so long. I finally gave it a try like a few days ago, and it is not the book for me. I can't stand the narrative style. It flips around from different characters' perspectives. I feel more confused than anything. And the narrative style is like her talking to somebody, talking to another character. And I can't say that I have ever found a narrative style that I genuinely just do not like. If it serves a purpose and if it's written in letter format or if it's written in first person or third person, whatever, second person, nothing really bothers me. Or if it's like dual timelines or dual character perspectives, nothing has really ever bothered me so much. But this, I hated it. The girl, she also wrote The Girl on the Train, and I feel like maybe I listened to that years ago. I know I watched the movie, and I feel like it was maybe, I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe it was the same. But this just feels so disorganized. I can't connect to anything tangible. I am very happy to get rid of that one. The next one I have is Of Blood and Ash. I actually really like this giant copy. It was really difficult. I'm gonna sneeze. I just think I'm allergic to bad books. From Blood and Ash, I'm gonna be getting rid of this copy. I actually really like how large this book is. But then I also got this copy, and I think this is more trade. This is kind of a funky size. It's not quite trade paperback. Wait, is it? Hold on. Oh yeah. So this is trade paperback size. It would just fit better on my shelves. And I also found a Light in the Flame that's this size. So this was, when I found this book, that was the deal breaker that I was going to get rid of this copy. A Danger to Herself and Others. I've been holding on to this book for so long. I thought it sounded really, really good. I can't say I was necessarily bored, but is about a character who is in a mental institution, and she's like this unreliable narrator. Apparently she has committed this vicious crime. There's some mystery happening that's going to lead up to how she got into the mental institution. But I'm telling you, I am getting very tired, so tired of crazy female characters. I think that I got really sick and tired of the whole character maybe potentially being a mental case when I read Woman in the Window, and I just really lost interest. The Last Legacy by Adrienne Young. This was such a disappointment. I read Fable. I really liked Fable. Namesake was kind of like, okay, fine, whatever. And this was just so disappointing. This one reminds me of Belladonna, to be honest. Alright, this one, Rhapsodic. This is a dark fantasy romance, I guess. I don't know why I didn't realize that's what it was. I thought it was intriguing because our main character has to make this deal with the devil. When you make this deal with him, he's supposed to come back. You are supposed to pay this hefty price, but yet he has not come back to collect his price. So when he finally does, it's something big. I don't know. I didn't like it. Cuckoo Song I'm having a complete and utter mind blank about what the hell this book is about. I know it's like a thriller. There's this creepy doll's face. I think I got it when I was really wanting to like get some more spooky books. I don't like it. Memories are muddled. Sister despises her. When she brushes her hair, out come crumbled fragments of leaves. Is she going mad? Oh, so we're relying on another character's mental state. Don't really like that one. Corrections, I actually just have 2 copies of this. I hope I like that. The Good Sister, I read this book. It was a good book. It's not my favorite by Sally Hepworth. It was enjoyable, but I'm not going to be buying these books anymore because these are the kind of books that I will read once and I will never read again. I'm finding that I understand my reading habits a little bit more, that some books I just won't read again and I don't need to own them. And there's a lot of these books that I can check out through the library and don't need to go out and purchase the physical copies of any of these anymore. So, and that's everything that I'm going to unhaul, and I'm very excited to take these to the bookstore where I go and see what they're going to give me for it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Oh, I have one more book. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Krememer. I did read this book. I did really enjoy it. I'm not going to reread it. And I have no interest in reading the second book in the series. So it's going in the unhaul pile. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.